live.
Just hold for this brief second as we're bringing up our message.
And still live.
But you don't know this virus.
Brother Lau, you rubbing it in. You're rubbing
It's
it in.
new, it's different. It mutates and goes in different directions with a different strain of itself. So whether I'm present or absent, the Executive Council of the Nation of Islam must call our scientists. Come and let's sit down. Our virologists, our epidemiologists, those of us who know the science. We cannot let them bring anything to us that we don't dissect. Know the science.
Still dissecting.
We cannot let them bring anything to us.
All right, we got. All right.
That we will not dissect. Break
And
it down,
repeat.
analyze, and give it back to you with the truth.
Analyze. Brother Lau. Well, listen. Yeah, they didn't see us for a while. So just gonna have to welcome
been a
them back
minute.
into Thursday night
That's
talk.
right. Still go
here.
get your peoples.
Go get your peoples, because you know what we're gonna tell you to do, right? You know, like, share, bring an auntie, uncle, niece, cousin, sister, brother,
Yeah.
whomever
Gonna
you got
learn
right
today.
to. Just grab them in. Come on in. We are so happy to be back. We got such a
Indeed.
wonderful show lined up for this evening. It is going to be a treat, not just for us Muslims,
Come
but
on.
for
Right.
everyone.
Mhm.
Everyone. It's for
Everyone.
So go get your peoples.
Go get your peoples. So, Brother Lau, I am Sister Michelle. I am your moderator for this evening. I am so happy to be back. Again,
Y'all
we
give
just
the hostess of the mostest some love now. Come on now. That's the hostess with the mostest right there. Our beloved sister Michelle.
Praise be to Allah. Just so excited for what's coming up and what we're going to discuss this evening. And I really hope and pray that the time that we came back from our Savior's Day listening to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that you really enjoyed the time that we played both portions of the Sunday lecture. And we pray that you go back and re-listen to it and share it with all of your family and your friends. That is the key. That is important. So I just want to make sure I emphasize that. That's right. And I want to thank our Seventh Reading Coalition team, of course, the team that you don't see and the team that you do see. Listen, hello.
That's right.
Salute.
That's right. Salute and pat ourselves on the back. Okay.
Get that one.
There it is. There. Thank you, Brother Lau.
Act like you don't need one today. All right, go ahead. Wait till tomorrow.
I need one. I need a pat on the back. So either way, listen, I just want to welcome the audience in. Again, good evening. Assalamu alaikum, if I didn't say it in the beginning. Just so happy to see you all. Excited, Brother Lau. I really don't have much more to say. I just want us to get it to moving, because I'm excited about our guest. Y'all can see him, but we're not gonna say anything just quite yet. Okay. But Brother Lau, I'm gonna hand the baton over to you. So please take it. You know
I got it.
That's right. There you go,
And
Brother
we're
Lau.
still running. Praise be to Allah.
There you
Praise
go.
be to Allah. All right, I got it. All right, we're good.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters. Praise the Lord to my Christian brothers and sisters, to all you Black revolutionaries, Umgawa Black Power, and to all you peace and freedom loving people across the land. Peace and blessings, and welcome again to Thursday Night Talks with the 7th Region Coalition and family. All I got to say is, I was going to say 2 things, but 3 things. First, those 2 things. Thing number 1, go get your peoples.
Go get your peoples.
Look, you all know how it goes. You get mad. You get into something, you hear what's being shared, and then you go try to get them, and then you miss something trying to go get them. So get them now.
Ain't that
That's
true?
right.
That is
Number two, I have to. Family, we could not have had, if we had searched the annals of time and the universe, a better stand-in host for the 7th Region Coalition Thursday Night Talk than the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Come on.
right.
Come
And
on.
I was so pleased, and this is a message to all of us. who heard the message and all of us who love our people,
That's right.
continue to share the message. Don't be under the impression that everybody already heard the message already.
Right.
That's
You'll be
right.
surprised. I was looking at the numbers, and a lot of brothers and sisters heard that message for the first time on our page. And so I don't want any of you beautiful people out there to underestimate the love of the Lamb that's in your reach. If you share, if you share,
Wow.
if you share.
Come on.
And so the last thing I just got to say is, remember the Seventh Region Coalition Thursday Night Talk? Think about us like this, family. Think about a people that are in a treacherous time, going over treacherous waters in a ship, and it's dark, but there's a lighthouse. And with the lighthouse, there's guidance, information, inspiration, and an opportunity to grow. And that's what we all have tonight. We have an opportunity to grow. So really, really, if any part of your life you'd like to be more special than another, this is a show for you tonight. We have a beautiful brother on. But before I introduce that beautiful brother and another beautiful brother, I got to introduce the beautiful sister. And you know, she knows already. She already knows you ain't doing nothing. Our beloved sister, Sister Khalila Muhammad.
Praises be to Allah. Oh my God, in the most holy name. Oh, I forgot.
Don't worry about it. Hey, you had the baton. You opened up in the name of Allah. That's the baton. You was opening
Brother
up.
Lau, I ran without the baton. You know that's his qualification. You know I had to go back and get the baton. So, but in the most holy name of Allah, always bearing witness that there is no God but He. And I bear witness that I just bearing witness. It's a beautiful day.
Come on now.
To be alive.
Come on now.
It's a beautiful day to be alive and sane.
Whoa,
Hello. That part, right?
It's this, you have no idea of how blessed we are, and we take it for granted every day. We wake up in the morning and our first breath is Allah. But we don't even get praise to Him for His love, His mercy, His blessings. We have, look, I mean, just hear the birds in the background with Brother Lau. I can hear that.
They're just bearing witness. That's
just love.
Those are my witness bearers.
Come on now.
And the thing is, I'm able to hear them with the ears that Allah blessed me to hear. So I know that this show here,
come on,
this brother here that we gonna have on this show right here, this brother is he's actually is a part of my journey.
Look at that.
He's been a part of my journey, and he has not only been a part of my journey, but he was actually the one that married me and my husband.
Good God.
So I love this brother unconditionally, because what he married to me is my soul mate. And I am so thankful to Allah for him. So I'm just going to stop what I'm doing, because the brother has a very, very full show, and I'm going to be a student, which I'm always a student. Okay. All right. And without further ado, I am going to pass the baton over to my.
So how do we do this? I guess I got to duck. I got to duck. I got to duck.
Ain't gonna work, brother.
You got it. Reach over top.
I'm just going to throw it over
for the Lyle's head.
Don't hit me with the baton.
Okay, I'm just throwing it. Just
y'all hot mess. I don't know what's going on over there.
Go get your people.
People are looking at us and say, man, they lost their mind.
I'd
like to begin by saying peace, hotep, shalom, abaragani, buenos dias, sakpase, assalamu alaikum. Greetings to our beautiful, righteous people tuning in. And yes, Khalila, we always begin in the name of the one God who bears many names. Some know him as Jah, others know him as Jehovah, others know him as Dios, some know him as Bon Dieu. We, as the Muslim followers of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and under the guidance, the beautiful and awesome divine guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
We greet one another in peace always. We come in the name of Allah, and we are just about guiding our people safely to the other side of this pandemic, onto the other side of this condition known as America, which every condition that we are experiencing in America, it seems like it's killing us. We need something of our own and to improve ourselves in every way imaginable. And we have, with our beautiful and awesome guests that we have here on this program, the programs that we present to you, we seek to offer guidance and right thinking in this hour, which is most desperately needed. So it's an honor and a pleasure to be here on this program as part of the 7th Region Coalition to help save lives.
Praise
to
be to
Allah.
Allah. Thank you so much. So before I even get into Student Minister Eric Muhammad out of, I believe, is it Houston? Did I get that right?
Houston. H-Town. H-Town. Right? Look, Sister Michelle, you know them brothers and sisters in Houston, they got to be the strongest human beings on the planet. All the natural disasters they've overcome and survived these past few years. That's got to be a bad brother right there.
Brother Lyle, they have killer mosquitoes in Houston. I got to experience it myself. Remember that the education conference, Brother Eric?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yes.
Allah.
Listen, we'll praying for y'all. So listen, before we get started, we just want everybody to know a really big thing is coming next month. And I want to do the introduction, but what we're really leading into is what we call Ramadan. It's an amazing time that we can experience a oneness with our God, with your God. God, you may call him Allah, Jehovah, comes in many names. But it's a very special month. And it's this brother about the bio I'm about to read, he does a lot of work around that. And he's really done a very good job at it. But I want to walk you all into his background. And then Brother Eric, Student Minister Brother Eric, is going to walk you through, if you will be participating. And you do not have to be Muslim, by the way, to celebrate Ramadan, right? But he's going to walk you through, if you decide to take on this journey, this little walk that we take with Allah, trying to get ourselves right. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So go and grab whomever you need to grab, because it's going to be good. So anyway, before I get too much into it, let me read Student Minister Eric Muhammad's bio. So let me start. Brother Eric Muhammad is a native of Houston, Texas, and has served in the community for over 25 years. After graduating from the University of Houston with a degree in political science, he started his journey of service in the field of education as an all-content instructor for grade school youth. After realizing his passion for justice and the ministry, he became the student assistant minister of Muhammad's Mosque number 45 of the Southwest region, which covers 5 states: Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Under Southwest Regional Student Minister Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad. Brother Eric's desire has always been to utilize his experience, skills, and talents to cultivate human beings into the thriving, vibrant, and productive members of society. Along with being an assistant student minister of Muhammad's Mosque number 45, he became a community developer where he assisted in the development of the Feed the Hungry program, crisis intervention, neighborhood policing, and gang and drug intervention programs. Brother Eric was a member of the executive board of Accepting Challenges to Improve Our Nation Action. It's an acronym, ACTION. Community Development Corporation from 2010 to 2017. Before serving on the board, he was a project manager and supervised 10 employees with a budget of $60,000. Hope I got that right, or it's 600,000.
1.2. Yeah.
Ooh, small things for a
Check the
giant.
zeros. Check the zeros.
1.2 million. But that's a
Right, that's this.
Check the
2
zeros.
million. You got the zeros wrong. Excuse me.
Otherwise,
he
Sister Michelle, them 10 employees was going to be fighting.
You're probably right, Bilal. You absolutely right, because I'd be fighting too. But anyway, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, let me continue. He provided case management services to survivors of Hurricane Katrina and was a client advocate through community resources. Brother Eric has also worked for the city of Houston, Focus Care as a counselor, and provided case management services. Brother Eric currently serves as the executive director of Action, CDC, and continues to serve the people in the Houston community in the wake of Hurricane Harvey. He is out in the community on a weekly basis, assessing the needs of the people and providing resources such as food, clothing, supplies, and social service. Brother Eric has been serving as an Islamic sciences instructor since 2012 at the Elevated Places School.
Come on.
He is also a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. Okay. University of Houston Alumni Chapter, Southwest Regional Local Organizing Committee, and Houston Alliances of Ministers. Something about them APA. Okay. Brother Eric, unique goal is to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan establish Islam as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad here in America and throughout the world. Brother Eric Muhammad is a firm believer that one can change their physical condition once they change their state of mind. Brother Eric is happily married to Haji Muhammad, and they have 3 adult children, Jasmine, Ahmed, and I don't want to mispronounce the name. Is it Kudisa?
Kudisa.
Sister Michelle,
Muhammad.
could you pause right there for a minute, Sister Michelle? Was that a typo?
Yes,
Did you just say that our brother has 3 adult children? You talking about brother student minister Eric sitting right here? Who
barely looks like he's
Islam 20. Done for him.
Right. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Look, you look very, very young. Minister Eric, we're just in a testament to How to Eat to Live, book 1 and 2, by the way. Just a little drop. Boom. Just go to the Bible Call bookstore. It's on sale. So, Brother Lau, I'll turn it over to you. I know that student minister Eric has a PowerPoint presentation on how to prepare for the holy month of Ramadan, which is coming up fast and
give
furious.
him much love for all that work. First of all, all that, right? You know, we were talking about in the beginning. See, our brother Eric, he said you don't have to read the whole Bible, but then I read the whole Bible. And when I read the whole Bible, I said, no, you got to read the whole Bible. This is to all of our brothers and sisters out there that you got to walk a life. If it's in 4 walls, you're trapped. Here's a brother that's free. We're so honored for you being with us here tonight, my dear brother. And if just to start us off, we heard so much about the work that you're doing on this particular topic that we're dealing with. And I want to stretch the topic just a little bit. We're talking about the holy month of Ramadan, but I want any of you out there who ever wanted to improve your life for any length of time, in any area that you wanted to improve, you're about to get the perfect blueprint to be able to do that. Brother, we welcome you to the 7th region, and please open up and share whatever you want to share to begin with, and then we'll get right into our topic, brother. But welcome to the 7th region.
Right, man. Welcome. Thank you all. Thank you all. Name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. I bear witness there's no God but Allah who appeared to us in the person of Master Father Muhammad. I bear witness in his messenger Messiah, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I further bear witness in their divine reminder, servant, warner, and apostle in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I greet you all, my brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Allah and Hotep Abaragani, peace, the whole nine. Is definitely an honor to be on tonight with you all. And again, just thank you for allowing me to come on and share with you all, with your listening audience, in this particular space. So thank you so much. And like you said, let's get right into it. You know, the beauty of Ramadan. But we want to, if you can go ahead and share the slides, Sister Kalila, because we really want to look at it from a principle perspective. Because I know we have Muslims on, and I know we have brothers and sisters who are not Muslims, quote unquote, not Muslims on. And we want to take this from a very spiritual journey, principled journey. So regardless of your faith expression, you too can participate and enjoy this month of Ramadan that is coming up. So this is why we entitled it The Blessed Month of Ramadan, Breaking Bad Habits and Making New Good Ones. So
Brother Minister, if you could pause just for a second, because I heard, did I hear you say that regardless of your faith walk or belief, or so you telling me whether you're Muslim, Christian, Jew, or whether you're a brother in the hood or a sister around, this is for everybody.
This for everybody. It's for everybody, Brother Lyle, because we all have bad habits.
Come on.
That's right.
We all make new good ones, right? So regardless of your faith expression and non-faith expression, right, is the fact that we have to break bad habits and make new good ones. And this is how we begin to make first ourselves decent people to make our communities decent places to live in. Because the same mind cannot change the condition that put you in the condition. Right? We have to change our mind. That's what I said. I believe that once we're able to change the way we think, then we can change our behavior. Right? So I know some of us may be thinking, okay, well, I'm not religious, you know, and you know, I'm more spiritual. And I get that. We get that. But a lot of times I don't really know if we fully understand that what we're saying. Right? Because look at the word deen. I'm also, which is not in my bio, I need to put this in my bio. I read and write and translate and teach Arabic. Over 20 years. So some of the things I'm gonna say, I know I'm more than qualified to say it. Right. So when we look at the word deen, the word deen is translated as religion, but the word deen means what you submit yourself to. The word deen also means to pay a debt. So religion, as we're taught, comes from two Latin words that simply means to tie yourself back to. So oftentimes what we put our life into becomes our religion. Because that's what we are submitting to. Right? So if you go to the next slide, let's look at what is the difference between spirituality and religion. So since this is my classroom, right?
Come on, brother.
It is.
I'm gonna have some audience. Sister Kalila, if you can read this for us.
Yes.
I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Since y'all like to have fun, I'm gonna have some fun too.
Come on now.
And
welcome to Elevated Places.
Take charge, brother. Come on.
I'll tell you at certain points when to stop. Go right ahead.
So spiritual and religion. First bullet point it says in the Teaching 2.0, Twitter says the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, those are the abbreviations, it was said to him, what is the difference between spiritually and religion?
Right. So spirituality and religion. Go right ahead.
Okay. Second bullet point. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, religion in many cases is recognized with organized with, these are very small words, by the way. It's organized with teachings and or dogma and ritual that support it.
Okay, stop right there.
Okay.
So what we're going to look at is the difference between when we look at religion or rituals. We know that rituals contain the truth. Like Ramadan is a month of rituals.
Okay.
Right. So the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said for every physical reality, there's a spiritual and mental reality. mental and spiritual reality. So
Right.
in the month of Ramadan, we're going to physically do something to enhance us mentally, which is our thinking, to bring about a spiritual state. So spirituality is that which comes from the nature of the individual. So Ramadan is about a physical experience of not eating.
Right.
Right? From sun up to sundown, not drinking, not having sexual relations with your spouse. All that is physical.
Right.
What is that doing for us? It's getting us to reevaluate eating. Reevaluate. And when I'm using the word reevaluation, I'm talking about the mindset. It's
Right.
for us to look again at.
Right.
To look again at. Right? To look again at those three things that represent life.
Right.
Eating represents life. Drinking represents life. Sexual relation with your spouse represent life. Right? So rituals contain the truth, but rituals are not the truth. So we must get behind the ritual to ascertain the truth. So now tonight, what we want to look at, what is the truth of Ramadan? This is how you prepare for it. Remember, the minister said, I can't live without what?
The truth.
I can't live without the truth. So what is the truth behind the rituals, brothers and sisters? So
Now, but Mr. Eric,
Christian.
I'm only pausing you because I get flashbacks, and I know some of our guests get flashbacks too. And I'm just flashing back into, growing up in the church with so many rituals,
Right.
and not having one clue what they stood for. You just kind of made me go there. So, family, we're going beyond that. And now I want y'all go get your peoples. I just wanted to remind them. Come on, my brother.
All right. Yes. Thank you, beloved. And alhamdulillah. So again, so spirituality is that which comes from the nature of the individual.
Right.
We are by nature, as the Holy Quran teaches, righteous.
Right.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in Message of the Black Man, said, if he had to sum Islam up in one word, it would be what? Righteousness. So righteousness is the principle, right? So I tell my students, and Brother Tony, I know you're an educator, right? So what's a noun? A noun is a person, place, thing, or what? An idea. So righteousness is the idea, right? So now, and when you act in a righteous manner and do good from within, that is not religion. That is the nature, the exercise of the spirituality of your being. So I get it when you say I'm not religion. Right. I don't believe, and I'm not in religion, man. I'm not with religion. Okay, I get you. But in order to understand spirituality, you got to go by way of religion.
Right.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because nationalism comes before, as the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said, right? Nationalism first, and then now we go into theology or theocracy. Right? So when we're looking at this, so Moses came dealing with what? More of a nationalistic perspective.
Right.
In the name of God. And Jesus comes and give us what? A more of a spiritual connection to the kingdom of God.
Yes, sir.
Right? So now when we're looking at this, we got to move quickly. So that's not religion. That is the nature of God and the nature of his creation. Remember, the Holy Quran says, this day I perfected for you your religion and completed my favor on you and chosen for you Islam as a religion. See, so Islam is righteousness summed up, but Islam is also a way of life.
Right.
It's a way of living. So in order to get to what we call, man, I ain't in religion, man. I'm universal, man. I'm more in the spirit. But you got to go by way of the religion.
That's right.
Because you got to understand the rituals. And the rituals begin us to thinking.
Right.
And then once we can begin the thinking, then now we're coming up because spirituality is our nature being what? Expressed.
Right.
I'm going to say that again.
Come on, brother.
I'm going to do it like what Brother Lau say. So you telling me, brother, you telling me that spirituality, because remember, I'm just having flashbacks, right?
Right.
Spirituality, just because you ride on a street with a bunch of churches on it, don't make it spirituality.
Student Minister Eric, can I
Yes.
say something real quick?
Go ahead, please.
This reminds me of a discussion that Student Minister Rasul, when he was the 7th Regional Minister many moons ago, he said to us in the student ministry class that when he was a child, he heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad give up the prayer to success for success, and he repeated, "And oh Allah, bless Muhammad and bless true followers of Muhammad." He said it twice, and he said to him, "The Holy Apostle, you said that twice." And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad looked at him and said, "Repetition is power."
Yes.
And so, what's the lesson there? The more we repeat the ritual, the more we're able to put God on our minds more throughout
Yes,
the
we're gonna get that.
The more we repeat these patterns of behavior more and more, the more they become second nature.
Right.
Yes.
And so
Now remember, you said repetition, because we're gonna get there, right? So,
Yes,
but I'm focused on my brothers and sisters in the mosque and my brothers and sisters outside of the mosque, right? Because we have to understand how to evolve in religion. To spirituality. It's not just saying, like, you know, when you get a cup of coffee with a bunch of sugar in it, you just get excited, right? Thank God showed that to you, right? So no, God didn't show that to you, man. You just on a sugar rush. Right? So sugar rush don't equate to spirituality.
Come on.
Right? So because we're in a world of religion, a world of rituals. When I went to Mecca, I know they were worshiping. Man, they were worshiping stone. I mean, it was off the chain.
Yes,
then I had to fight. And my brothers from Fifth Ward, Texas, they opened it up for me so I can kiss the black stone. And I don't know if y'all heard the Fifth Ward, the ghetto boy.
Come on, yes, sir.
Yeah, but Islam is not a religion. It is a world.
That's
Peace,
right.
beloved.
Islam is a world, and that world comes out of the nature of God. See, but God gives us rules and laws and regulations, and He gives us these rituals so that we can understand the rituals, so that those rituals can have an effect on the way we think, so that now we can begin to express from our thinking the very nature of who we are. Right? The very nature of me is a God. The very nature of you is a God. But what's happening is we are void of the rituals. And when you're void of the rituals, then this is where we get another expression. But then some of us are caught in the ritual, and all we do is pray, but
no action.
So, brother Ed,
go ahead.
We got to bring in an author right now just to verify what you just said. Her name is Alice Walker.
Yeah.
And she said, whenever I walked into a church, I walked in with more God than I found in it.
Correct. That's a fact. That's a fact. So the minister said to Brother Student Minister Carlos when we went to Mecca, he said, you only get out of Mecca what you take to Mecca. So it's not about the ritual so much so, but you got to participate in the ritual.
Right.
So you don't get caught in the rituals. Right? So it's the nature of every human being except the rebellious devil. Next slide.
Come on.
Next slide. So the observation, so Ramadan came in the second year of the Hijrah, or the flight from Mecca to Medina. So they spent 10 years or 13 years, in Mecca. And then in the 15th year of his call, he gets Ramadan.
Now, so, Brother Eric, you got to break that down, right? Because some of my Christian brothers and sisters, like, I'm trying to follow you. They don't know that Muhammad suffered that persecution. Can you talk about the Hijrah?
Yes, just real briefly, because I don't want to go off on that. But it's just say, for instance, when our brothers and sisters prior in the late 1800s, when they left Mecca, when they left Mississippi to go to Chicago,
right?
They were running,
right?
They were running, Brother Lau.
Right.
So under from a death plot, we were going to be killed in Mississippi, in Alabama, in Georgia, right? So we left the South and went into the Midwest, and then went into the North, right? So that's the Hijrah, that's the flight. So Muhammad spent 13 years under that oppression. He spent 13 years under that oppression. And then in the 13th year, he received revelation to leave. And so he left under a death plot. And that death plot is significant if we fast forward to the present time of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but we ain't gonna go there, right? Just let you know,
come on.
Know that we know that, right? So now Muhammad left Mecca or left Mississippi.
Come on.
Went into Chicago or left Georgia, went into the Midwest, Detroit, all of those areas, right? And he received revelation to fast in the month of Ramadan. So the observation, so now the principle of Ramadan is given. So Ramadan wasn't in Mecca in the first 13 years. They didn't practice Ramadan. Right. So now here comes Ramadan as a ritual, and the first expression of Ramadan was during the Battle of Badr. It was during a fight. So just imagine you couldn't drink, you couldn't eat, right? But you had to go out and fight. Now, there's some soldiers.
Those soldiers.
And you got some straight up soldiers, right? So the minister said to observe this Ramadan with the strictness that it requires. See, that's why we go back to talking about the rituals, observing the rituals of Ramadan with the strictness that it requires. Why, brother minister? So that we may break old habits. See, so there's something that's in the ritual that we have to participate in that will allow us to break bad habits. So if I can't drink, then that means I can't smoke during the day if I smoke.
Come on.
Right?
That's right.
See? So I'm getting a reevaluation of now these things that are causing me or that cause me to have bad habits. Right? So if I'm we live in a hyper sex environment, a hyper eating environment, a hyper drinking of alcohol environment, right? So we kill old demons that lurk inside our hearts. Now, what are we talking about? The heart is not what's pumping inside of our chest. The minister said the heart is the center vital function, the essential part, the seat of life. Right? So the heart is in between your and my ears, the core of our thinking. He said the seat of one's innermost thoughts, the secret feeling, intent, will, the minister defined in the study guide. One of my favorite definitions. He gives us two definitions, but I'm going to go with the second one. He said the power of control that the mind has over its own actions. Ramadan is going to put us into being in control over the way we think, because I love listening to hip hop, old school, new school hip hop.
Yeah, right.
But when it's Ramadan, I got to put it down.
That's right. You gotta put it down.
That's right. Hey, I love me some Scarface. I love me some Meek Mill. But hey, you know I love Rick Ross. I got to give a shout out to Big Rick Ross, right? Maybach music, right?
Right.
Having a Maybach Ramadan, right?
How about that?
So what that says to us is now I have the ability to change my thinking in this month and be in control of my thinking so that I can be successful in my behaviors. Right. So now it says purpose, desire. What are we yearning for? Right. The feeling or sentiment one has in regard to a thing, the seat of love and affection, the seat of moral conscience and courage. That's the heart. That's what is going through and participating in the month of Ramadan. We're going to go to the next slide and go ahead, brother.
Time out, brother. Before we go to the next slide, you just hit on something that a big alert button went on. Because while you're talking about self, I was thinking about that last bullet point, because those seem to be three things that our community is missing the most.
Yes.
Love, moral consciousness, and courage.
Yes.
So our community is not going to be better until we get ourselves better. So family, you better go get your peoples and get ready to practice Ramadan.
Just to what you're saying, Brother Lau, back in the day, the OGs is always say, man, he don't have no heart. You know what I mean?
He ain't got no heart.
He don't got no heart.
You ain't got no heart. Right? You got to said like we from Baltimore though. We ain't got no whore.
Baltimore, you don't got no
Was-
whore.
We ain't got no whore. Right? So next slide, please. Right. So now the prophet, peace be upon him, said, this is a hadith, a sayings of the prophet. He said, there has come to you Ramadan, a blessed month which the mighty God and sublime has enjoined you to fast. And in this month, the gates of heaven are open, the gates of hell are closed, and the devil is chained up. So in other words, he's saying good thoughts for us are open. Negative thoughts are closed. Bad behavior is chained up.
Come on,
Right.
come on.
Because we don't believe in a heaven in the sky and a hell in the ground.
Come on.
Because the earth is rotating. It's in the universe and it's suspended. It's rotating, right? So we
Right.
know that the diameter of the earth is 7,926 miles.
Right.
In the Bible, and they say that hell is halfway in the earth, they say, right?
Right.
So 23 hours, 56 minutes, 46 seconds in a day. And that at some point, the earth is going to rotate to where what is up is down. So that means hell is now up if it was once down, right?
Do the math, family. Do the math.
Do the math.
It's actual fact.
And they say hell is 10 times hotter than the sun, right? And we know at the core of the sun is 14,072 degrees Fahrenheit, right? And if you multiply that on a hot summer day in Texas, you know you can feel the sun, which is 93 million miles away from the earth.
That's
So
right.
why don't I feel the effects of hell if it's in the ground, right? So my point is dealing with concepts and principles, right? Next slide. Now, what is the meaning of Ramadan? The root meaning of Ramadan is the word in Arabic called Ramid, in Arabic, which means to the burning with excessive heat, or to be scorched by the sun. The month was called because when they changed the names of the months from the ancient language, the name then according to the seasons. So when you walked outside and you say, "Whoo, Ramadan," right? It was right. It was hot. So that's how Ramadan got his name, right? But Ramadan means to sharpen a blade between two stones and to roast or to burn. So a person fasting, this is Brother Imam Sultan quote. So a person fasting by comparison sharpens their nature between two stones of hunger and thirst, burning away bad habits, negative character, and improper actions. So that's the negative things being closed, the negative things being chained up in the month.
Now, Brother Minister Eric, before you go any further, you know, every once in a while we gotta take a minute to slap the hands on the parents real quick. You know, shame on our parents who say they want all of these qualities for our children,
Right.
but won't go through the practices that will produce these qualities. This is exactly what babies, meaning you're my babies, this is what we need, family. So parents, take this. Thank you, my brother.
Yes, thank you, my brother. Thank you. So what makes Ramadan? See, Ramadan didn't start out as a sacred month. It was when Allah revealed it that it became a sacred month. And that was in the 15th year of Muhammad's revelation. In the 15th year, he received it. In the second year of when he was in Medina, he received it. So, so what makes it is because now Allah gave us the rituals in the month that we should follow, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, with the strictness. Right? But remember, we're not ritual Muslims.
Right.
That means when Ramadan is over with, I'm still reading my Holy Quran. I'm still eating one meal a day, as in the month of Ramadan. Right? I'm still not drinking water over excessively. Right? So it's not that we leave the principles of Ramadan, even though the month itself leaves, but we don't leave the principles and the concepts of Ramadan as a Muslim.
Right.
So this is how we know that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad comes in the volume of the book, because he made the rituals our way of life. We eat one meal a day. We fast 3 days out of every month with water, coffee, or tea.
Wow, that's how you make supermen and superwomen.
It gives us. Go ahead, Brother Loud. I'm sorry.
Oh, you on it? I just said that's how you make supermen and superwomen.
Right. So the
also
Honorable
known as FOI and MGT.
Yes. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad comes now to bring us into the fulfillment of what the prophet gave. Because remember, he was given 104 books to read. Right. And 103 has something to do with the life or the aspect of the life of the prophet. And the 104th was the Holy Quran, which he said was the best of book. So he comes now to make the Quran a way of life for you and I. So when we walk out of Ramadan, the month itself, we don't leave the principles that the month of Ramadan has for us. So we keep it going, brothers and sisters. But coming into the month, because all the Muslims, 1.4 billion Muslims, are practicing Ramadan. So what makes it a difference is because we are, remember that word we said earlier, we are conscious about the rituals. We are conscious about the morality. We are conscious about what? The spirituality. So since we are conscious about it, that means the core of our thinking is what? Impressed upon in this month. So this is why we get that level of energy. So just imagine when we walk out of the month of Ramadan, we keep up the same level of energy because the principles don't leave us. The month just does. Next slide, please.
Month teach.
Now, when I walk into the weight room, y'all know I'm swole, right?
Come on, bro.
I'm yoked. Hey, how we say, but loud, I'm yoked, right? Ramadan is like the exercise machine. You walk into a gym, and various exercise machines are designed to work out specific muscles on the body.
Yes, sir.
Right? So what are we working out in the month of Ramadan?
Come on.
Right? So now here we go. What are we physically working out? Because remember, before we go to the next slide, I want to make a point right here. Remember, we're talking about the physical, the mental, and the spiritual.
Right.
This is what we're working out, right? So let's look at it from a physical perspective. See, this is why you got to go through the rituals, but we cannot become ritualistic. We must ascertain the truth that is within the rituals, and the rituals become a part of us, right? And then now, but I'm exercising the truth that's in the ritual, right? So now when I go to these little events and people always say, Brother Eric, will you open up in prayer? So my daughter said one time, Brother Eric, why? She said, Dad, why they always asking you to pray? I say, baby, because they always see me making my prayers. Right. So and then on the strength, I got this personal connection with the God, right? So you allow me to enter into the most greatest sanctum, which is the spiritual sanctum. Why? Because they know that Brother Eric is making his prayers.
Come on.
Right? So that's the physical. Right? Next slide.
Come on, brother.
Next slide. All right. So during the month of Ramadan, go back a slide because I want to walk us back into this slide. Right. So Ramadan is like a machine. So what are we working out in Ramadan? Next slide. Right. So in the month of Ramadan, we are working out what is called the hypothalamus.
Come on.
So a couple of years ago, I was reading Study Guide 18. All this now is Study Guide 18.
That's right.
Our teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as taught and demonstrated by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, right into the month of Ramadan. Right. So during the month of Ramadan, we're working out the hypothalamus, home of hunger, thirst, and the sex drive.
Wow.
So when you go to Study Guide 18, where emotions come from. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan begins to explain to us where the emotion comes from, right? So it's that little small part called the hypothalamus. It's like this, like as big as this thumb, right? The tip of my thumb, right? The richness of it. So where is the location of these two stones of hunger and thirst, right? Go to the next slide.
Whoa.
Right? So now go back again. So this hunger and thirst, those two stones that we mentioned earlier, and let's give it up for our DJ Kalila. She working this. So in that portion of the brain called the hypothalamus, you find what we're working out in the month of Ramadan. So when you're going, brothers and sisters, through the month of Ramadan, this is what you're working out. So when you're making your prayers and you're putting that when you're putting what we say your mug to the rug.
Come
Right?
on.
When
Right.
you're putting your brain, your head to the rug. And the minister said that position of Shezda, when your head is to the ground, is the most humbling and exalted position at the same time. Right? So now, so this is what we're working out through the month of Ramadan. See, so now when you're going through the rituals, it's having a physical effect on you from fasting. It's having a physical effect on you, and it's affecting your brain. And it's also when your brains now are affected, the neurons are working together with one another, and they're firing off and producing new thought, producing new thinking. So we read the Holy Quran one part a day. So I'm putting in my head this most beautiful book of the Quran right in this portion of my brain is receiving it. And it's correcting my hunger. It's correcting my thirst. It's correcting my sex drive. Next slide, please. Now, we're going to go to this repeat. Now, my man is actually working out, right? It's actually moving, right? Maybe because of this platform, you're not getting the effect of it, right?
Right.
So, as brother Tony mentioned about repetition, taking acts of worship from Allah to the next level. Repetition of some acts over and over again in preparation for game time, right? So we're getting ready. So Ramadan is the preparation put in motion, putting everything in the field of life and exert yourself. So repetition reinforces the circuits in our brains and forms more neural connections, so that in your weakest hour, you don't talk yourself out of greatness. So we go day one is hard.
Oh, but Brother Eric, I apologize.
I'm gonna come to you.
Minister Eric,
go ahead.
My headphone went out. You said something and it knocked the circuit out my headphone. And I just want you to say something about talking yourself. Would you say about talking yourself out of greatness?
Yes. So repetition reinforces the circuits in our brains and forms more neural connections. So that in your weakest hour, you don't talk yourself out of greatness. So day one of Ramadan may be hard. Day two may be difficult. Day three may be a little difficult. But then now day four, getting easier. Day five, see the repetition? Day six, day seven. Day 8, now you pushing up the principles of Ramadan. You get the weight up off your chest. You it up. So now what's happening is, so now by the time you get to the third and fourth day, you're not even talking about, well, man, you know what, man, this Ramadan hard, man, I got to drink me some water. You're not even saying that. But now just think what we can overcome when you give up eating, when you give up drinking, when you give up cursing your brother out, when you give up fighting. When you can't do these things for 30 days. And remember, the scholars say that it takes 21 days to break a bad habit. Right? So now just imagine now you're putting in you for 30 days that which is good and is chaining up negative thoughts. So you ain't quick to want to cuss your brother out, quick to want to call your sister the female dog, quick to want to call your brother the N-word, right? You're backing up from that.
Go ahead, brother.
New in your mind, because those neurons that are working together are firing together. They are firing Quran. They are firing good thoughts. They're firing the righteous moral principles that come with the month, that what we need. All right, let's go to the next slide. Now,
go ahead, brother.
Before we go there, go back.
DJ Kalila.
All right, so the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said on January 10, 2017, true empowerment comes when we start to look deeply at our beliefs.
Come on.
See? So how do you view Ramadan? Just as a time to starve?
Right.
Just as a time to get thirsty? Most of us, I ask some believers, and we got to get out this habit, brothers and sisters. Where you at on your Holy Quran? Man, I'm 3 days behind. And you go to the next question. The next question I ask, where you at on your eating? And everybody gonna say, I'm caught up on my eating. Ramadan is not a starvation month.
Come
That's
on,
right.
Come on.
So we got to feed ourselves spiritually,
Right.
just the way we're feeding ourselves physically.
That's
So I
right.
should not be behind on my reading like I'm not behind on my eating.
Come on, brother.
Actual fact.
Get out of my house, Brother Eric.
Hey, I'm just saying. So we got to know that Ramadan is from night to night, and that's a significance. Because what does night represent? Page 56 of our How to Eat to Live, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad lets us know what night represents.
Come on.
Right? So we're looking at night. Ramadan is from night to night because we're living in a 6,000-year period of darkness. So in Ramadan is based on the lunar calendar. It's a lunar calendar, not the Gregorian calendar. It's not based on the sun.
Right.
It's based upon the moon.
Right.
Oh,
So we go from night to night.
Come on, brother.
Ramadan, so at night we can start reading our Holy Quran. So if Ramadan, I'm saying if with a capital I, if Ramadan starts on April 3rd, which is a Sunday, you can start reading on Saturday night because Saturday night is the first day of Ramadan. We just fast during the day, and that's a significance why we fast during the day. Why do we abstain from eating in the daylight hour?
Come on now.
See, that's beautiful, right? So now let us go to the next slide. Now, so this is the greatest. We say Zikr Allahu Akbar. The remembrance of Allah is the greatest. And in the footnote or in the parentheses, it said force. Right? So this should allow us as believers to think. And when I say believers, I'm saying all of those who believe in God.
Come on, man.
Believe in a God. Right? Regardless of your faith expression.
That's right.
Right? This should allow us as believers to think as Allah thinks. So even if you know, even if we got this expression of, man, I don't believe in no God. Well, you believe in something.
Right.
Something you believe in has some form of morals. And if it has some form of morals, then you must think in accord with that.
Right.
So to perform as Allah would have us to perform with the right feelings and emotions driven by his thinking. So we should go into the month of Ramadan really hyped.
Come on, brother.
Really expressing our feelings and our emotions.
Come on.
And learning who you really are. So that you can get the most out of what you're putting in. Because you only get out of Ramadan what you put into Ramadan, what you take out of what you bring to Ramadan.
That's right.
So for Allah says in the Quran, Zikr Allahu Akbar. The remembrance of Allah is the greatest force. Ameen. Next slide. So now this is the verse that was revealed to Muhammad. Right? The month of Ramadan is in which the Quran was revealed, guidance to men, clear proofs and evidence, proof of guidance, and the criterion. So those who are present in the month shall fast therein, and whoever is sick on the journey shall fast therein a like number of days. Allah desires ease for you and does not desire hardship for you, and he desires that you should complete the number and that you should exalt the greatness of Allah, for he of guiding you, and that you may give thanks. So this is the essence and purpose of what Allah wants out of us for the month of Ramadan.
Now, Brother Minister, before we change that slide, this is a special spiritual commercial break to encourage every Christian to get a Holy Quran.
Yeah, and that's
right. And every Muslim in America, study the Bible. You know, there's some jewels that we miss out on when we don't understand the beauty of the Word of God that's in places that we never would have thought to look. So I just want you to challenge yourself, my brothers and sisters, to go ahead and do that.
Yes, brothers and sisters. So this year we want you all to fast, if it's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, or the whole 30 days. And then, as my brother Lyle stated, get you a Holy Quran. Get you a Holy Quran.
That's right.
so that you can read what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said was the best book that he received. And in this, Allah desires ease for you. So do you have difficulties in your life? What's the relationship between the month of Ramadan and completing the 30 days and ease?
Come on, brother.
Well, we may think it's difficult. Allah says he desires ease out of something that perceived to be difficult. It's a perception.
It's perception.
Mere perception.
But Allah desires ease for you. How are you looking at it? So Allah desires ease for you. He does not desire hardship for you. He comes right back and say it again, just in a different way. So if you're having difficulties and you're having hardships, he's saying, take up what I have given you. And this is a month that where you're not going to lie, a month you're not going to steal,
Right.
a month where you're not going to call each other negative names, a month where you're going to control your eating, you're going to control your drinking, and you're going to control your sexual appetite. So we can have a decent community.
Come on, brother.
Teach.
Right? And Allah says that you should exalt the greatness of Allah. And watch, in the exalting of the greatness of Allah, you are exalting yourself. Let me say this real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
When somebody do something good as Muslims, what do we say?
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Why did you say Allah is the greatest if somebody do something good?
Because without Allah, he couldn't be great.
Come on.
Without Allah, he couldn't be great. But Allah is also saying that I'm raising you up in that greatness. Because you're still identifying the greatness of that person, but you're saying that Allah is the greatest.
The greatest. You're greater, but Allah is the greatest.
Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest.
Beautiful, brother.
Right? So Allah is saying, I'm raising you up in your greatness, but don't get it twisted. Remember, I'm the greatest. But Allah
you get it twisted if you want to.
Yeah, but Allah also represents the 99 attributes. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that the only thing we should cultivate are the attributes of God. So those 99 attributes are in us. So this is why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, and our Savior has arrived, that we are all Allah.
That's right.
He said individually we are God, and he put a small g. And he said and then he said we Allah. He said we are all Allah. And he said we are all God, capital G.
Come on.
So individually we're small g, but together we are capital G. It's in our Savior has arrived.
Right.
Right? So that's important that we understand that, because when you do good, you are growing. You are growing those attributes of God in you. Let me find that page real quick. Right, page 26 of Our Savior Has Arrived. It's rooted in all of us. Every righteous person is a God, period, small g. We are all God, capital G, period. So when you're coming into the month of Ramadan, you are raising up now who you are.
Teach.
Elijah Muhammad said, ye are all God, quoting the Bible when it says, we say, ye are all God's children of the Most High God.
That's right. David, that's right.
I know we had an hour. So
no, brother.
Keep going.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Yeah, I'm gonna get through it because I want the energy and I want to get to some questions, right? So we're going to go through it again. So the month of Ramadan, in which was revealed the guidance to men and clear proofs of the guidance to men and the criterion. Now these three are what. Now here I go again. You know, I'm an educator. These three are what are called noun phrases that gives us more information about the Quran. Guidance, which he revealed as a guidance for the hearts of those who believe in it and adhere to its commands. 2, and the proofs, meaning as clear and unambiguous signs and unequivocal proof that those who understand them. So when we started out, you say, wait a minute, he got 3 adult children? That's a testament to what? How to eat to live. So brothers and sisters, regardless of your faith expression, Muslim, Christian, Hebrew, regardless, Hebrew Israelite, regardless, we must now become a reflector of what it is that we say we believe in, right? So when people look at you, they know who they're looking at.
That's
Now,
right.
Brother Minister Eric, you
ahead,
did,
please.
you did it again, brother. You caused one of them flashbacks in this confession time. I don't care what your religion is, family. I want you to think about how much stuff you read and you had no understanding. I mean, you had no clue whatsoever. Now look what Ramadan can do to you. My goodness. Let's just be honest, family. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, so let me drop something else in there. So when you appear is who you are truly free. So when you appear as who you really are truly free. So I'm no longer saying I'm just a Muslim. I'm appearing as that. So that means we are free when we can be Muslim.
Sound like God in the person.
Come on.
God in the person.
That's a fact. Absolutely. That's a fact. So that's the key. So when we are not just, when you can tell that, when you can look at a person and just see, man, that's a good person.
Yes.
And watch how people respond to you because they see your goodness. They see your greatness.
Right.
Yes.
Right? You're not faking. You're not, in our world growing up, you're not fronting.
Right. That's right.
We're not fronting. We are who we are. Right? You don't have to fake it till you make it. We say, man, fake it till you make it. Right? You are who you are. Right? So the third thing is criterion, the al-Furqan, the criterion that the minister gave us. The distinction between the truth and falsehood. And the permissible and the prohibited. Right? So brothers and sisters, again, next slide. So regardless of what you say you believe in, Ramadan is for everyone.
Come on.
Because we live in an environment that was hypersensitive, highly emotional. Right. The cancel culture, the woke people.
Come on, teach.
Right? So we're living in a society where all this exists. But the month of Ramadan, right, where we fast, where you can have what is called Sa'um, or the act of fasting, to abstain from. It means being still. Being still, being in the moment, as we say as auditors, being in present time.
Right.
You're in the moment in the month of Ramadan. You're soaking it all up. You are being that, as we say, Ramadan Muslim, and not in a negative way.
Right.
Right, that I put Ramadan on Muslim as an adjective, not saying that I'm that in just the ritual aspect of it, but I'm wearing it.
Right.
So that people can see the beauty of what the month itself represent, but what the principles in the month represent. And that's the beauty. And that's what we want to take out of if we want a decent place, community to live in. So the month of Ramadan is prescribed by Allah God as a prescription to build out. This is Brother Sultan's article that he wrote.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
To build our ability to guard against the evils of the satanic influence of the world and carnal desires of the self, right? Through the nature of God-centered regard in every moment and aspect of our lives. I want to stop right here and say this. Self, as defined in study guide number 10, is the uniting principles. Yourself is not your experiences. Your experiences is what yourself went through. Yourself is by nature a righteous Muslim.
Come on, teach.
Minister, you call yourself a Christian.
You did it again, brother minister.
You call yourself a Hebrew Israelite. The word Muslim means one who submits to do God's will.
Come on.
In a simple term. So you are not your ritual. You are not your experiences. You are a righteous Muslim that went through those experiences. And Ramadan comes now to help to take off those experiences and introduce to you and I new experiences, a new way of life. So we're making history.
Brother minister.
Yes.
on that point, see, because you must know our audience pretty well, my brother. Because some
we
of us,
black people, because we all black people.
come on, brother. You talk about people who have been broken in their lives.
Yes.
People who have faced the most horrific mental traumatic experiences. And what you're telling me right now is that by taking part in this practice here,
Come on.
I'm not those traumas. I'm not those experiences. I can be new. Is that what you're saying, brother?
That's exactly what I'm saying. He make all things new. That's exactly what I'm saying. You get to experience yourself. And yourself is a righteous Muslim. And you can put all of those experiences and begin to benefit from what you went through and help other peoples in that trauma. Right? So the practice of self-restraint in the month of Ramadan, or stillness through the act of fasting, Saum, is a principle of action of Muslims practice throughout the year to rid self of to rid self. That means it don't belong to self. If you're going to rid yourself of something, that means it don't belong to you.
Right.
Oh, brother minister. So you mean we two people? I got two people inside of me, brother. And
Man,
all the two people.
Hey, remember Sybil?
All you out there, two people.
Y'all remember Sybil?
13, right?
Right.
Yes. Right.
I remember Sybil.
You remember Sybil, right? So practice throughout the year.
I just seen Sybil.
Hey, I know, right? I know. So when you go and look in the mirror and you get a chance to just look in the mirror, wipe your thoughts of anything and just look in the mirror.
Yes.
And see yourself. So you can rid yourself of the impurities of the mind, spirit, and body. Fasting is uniquely designed to burn away the impediments of ego, excess, and self-destructive hungers that hinder human and community growth. So our communities need that. Our communities, we need to fast.
Yes.
Because when you're fasting, you become you.
Right.
So I'm going to say something. When fasting in the month of Ramadan was introduced, before it was introduced, they said you could feed the poor. But once fasting was introduced, you notice in that verse, feeding the poor is no longer there. You must complete the number of days. Now, if you got a terminal illness, that's something different. Feed the poor. But if you just miss a day, you can't go feed the poor.
Make it up.
You got to make that day up. Allah was very clear. I'm going to read it to you real quick. Look at chapter 2, verse 186, 184, 183. Oh, you believe fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may guard against evil for a certain number of days. But whoever among you is sick or on a journey, a like number of other days, and those who find it extremely hard can effect redemption by feeding a poor man. So whoever does spontaneous good. Now that's verse 184.
Yes.
Now 185 says the month of Ramadan is that in which the Quran was revealed, a guidance to men, a clear proof of the guidance and the criterion. So whoever of you is present in the month shall fast therein, and whoever is sick or on a journey, he shall fast a like number of other days. Allah desires ease for you. He does not desire hardship for you, and he desires that you should complete the number, and that you should exalt the greatness of Allah for have guided you, and that you may give thanks. He don't mention feed the poor once he mentions Ramadan.
Right.
Now you can feed the poor, right? If you got some terminal illness that is going to be 3-4 years before you get over, right? Feed the poor. But feeding the poor is not fasting. There's certain principles in it that's equivalent, like it takes humility, right, to want to go feed the poor. It's sincerity to go feed the poor. It takes humility to want to fast, right? But the physical property of fasting you can't get, or you cannot get, through feeding the poor.
That's right.
You physically got to go through it. Physically got to go through it. That's why I'm saying you just can't dismiss the ritual. You got to participate in the ritual. So 184 is different than 185, even though 184 can be put into 185. if you still sick and on a journey and you cannot make it up because of illness that's over a protracted period of time.
Brother Minister, on that point there, because we're deep into the program, and I know you got people so fired up for practicing Ramadan. Take a minute to talk about those disqualifiers, if you will, about being sick or those particular kind of things. Because I don't want nobody going out there trying to hurt themselves, just like we don't want anybody going out there trying to underdo what this beautiful season can do.
Yes, and always, as we say, consult your medical professional if you have some type of ailment in terms of fasting, you know, from sun up to sundown, you know. But if you're sick, you know, and whatever that sickness is, and if it's a short-term sickness, you know, but don't make up talking about you got a cold.
Yeah.
You know,
oh, there they go. Come on.
You know, we start making up stuff, right? But if you literally, and there's some things that I won't, like, for instance, like if you're a sister and it's that time of the month, then right. If you can't bear it, right? That's between you and Allah on that, right? That's a qualifier not to fast, right?
But you make up those days though, brother Eric, too.
No, that's understood.
Make up those days.
Yeah, you gotta make them days up, right? Yes. Right. But that's a qualifier for not to fast. And making days up, you got the whole year to do it.
Ooh.
Year to do it.
Wait, brother Minister, let me mute the Negroes on the line real quick, and you can say that again, because the Negroes will take advantage of that fact that they got a whole year to do that. Let me mute them, and you talk to the rest of us.
But the so-called Negro, that so-called Negro will pop up now, like the minister said in the Swan Song. Oh, Negro gonna come out,
right?
But Negro can't hide, right? That's the Swan Song, right? But yes, so. But then if you're deceptive like that, you're going to defeat the purpose of what we just went through.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the point.
You're robbing yourself of the value of what's in the month of Ramadan. That means we didn't do anything. So Allah won't accept that.
Simple without substance.
That at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. You know, so those are some qualifiers, brothers. If you're under the weather and you just can't bear it, you know, then make that day up. Make that day up. But we're calling us to be strong, because the principle of being strong is a principle, as you said earlier, or you quoted Brother Lau, that part on courage. But what produces courage? Love. So if you love yourself and you want to change, then now you would have the courage to go through the month.
So now, Brother Minister, I gotta ask you another question, brother. I gotta ask you, because obviously from your bio, you're a man who walks this walk in your community work. So in other words, you are who you say you are. So and as you practice, as you talk about this, can you talk about the benefits of how this helps us actually find our aim and our purpose in our walk?
Yes, because when you start thinking right, see, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the brain is created to what?
Think right.
To think right.
That's right.
So your very purpose is in you. See, in Surah 87, verse 1, 2, and 3, Allah talks about sperm mixed with ovum. The purpose of you and I is mixed in that. So who you are is made up of sperm mixed with ovum. Right? And then it's emitted into the womb of the woman, and it connects to the uterus wall, and it begins to turn, and it begins to what? To develop. Right. So you're not only developing physically, but who you are is developing inside of that being. Right. Because we are not our bodies. We need bodies to express who we really are. So when somebody returns to Allah, we say we bury the remains of that person. Well, if that's the remains of that person, then who is the person? So you are the essence of you. So when you're going through this month to correct that thinking, as we said earlier in the program, you are bringing forth who you are. You are bringing forth your purpose.
Right.
See, so there's a verse in the Quran that says to us that Allah will not put on you anything you cannot bear.
That's right.
That's
But
right.
one day I was translating that, and it actually says Allah only burdens you with your own potential.
Wow.
Allah only burdens you.
Ooh, I like that.
But it did it again, brother minister. You said something about potential. Can
Get Brother
say
Eric.
that again about potential?
Allah only burdens you with your own potential. So what is your potential? See, that's why sometimes we can be angry and don't know why the hell we're angry.
Come on, T.
Fulfilling what God is, what I was born to do.
Oh, Brother Eric,
See?
Brother
So,
Eric.
so yes, he only puts on you, he only burdens you with your own potential.
I can't even get a
Dude, Minister
So when
Eric.
we're going through the month of Ramadan,
Come on.
the you is coming out. The
Oh.
real you is coming out because
Right.
the real you is a Muslim.
Mm.
So
Oh,
regardless, brothers, of what we call ourselves, the real you is a righteous person.
Teach.
That's our very nature, is righteousness. If you don't get anything else out of what we said tonight, know what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, as taught and demonstrated by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that you are righteous by nature.
Come on.
And Ramadan is given to us to bring out that righteousness, that for 1 month we can be who God created me to be to myself and to one another.
Those famous 6 words, accept your own
and be
yourself.
See, being conscious. This is why repetition is important. Being conscious. That's so critical. To be conscious. I'm consciously serving myself. I'm consciously serving Brother Tony, Sister Michelle, Brother Lau, Sister Kalila. I'm consciously serving you. That I'm not going to do anything that offend you. This is why we say Assalamu alaikum.
Right.
And so the word
And
salam
mean it.
comes from the word meaning to be secure.
Come on.
Because you can't be at peace if you're not secure.
Come on. Teach.
Right.
Because you can be sitting up here listening to me right now, but if you got a bill that's due and you ain't got no money, you ain't paying attention to what I'm saying.
Come on, Teach.
But if you know you got the money, you just waiting on me to finish so you can go and pay the bill. You're secure. And Ramadan comes now as rituals to help us secure so that we can use it as a springboard for the other 11 months. Because remember, Allah says in the Quran in chapter 9, there's always been 12 months with Allah. So he gives us Ramadan as a moment in time for us to stop the madness.
Woo!
Come on.
And recalibrate. There go that word, there go that prefix again, and recalibrate the way we think.
Wow.
So that we can move forward. So Ramadan is a means for the believer to deepen our discipline and purify our character. So now that purified character, Brother Lau, to your question, becomes now shaping the you
My.
on whatever your purpose is. Is you just more disciplined in who you are, whatever that purpose is. Right? So the month of Ramadan should produce a collective spirit among the Muslim community through the international practice of self-restraint.
Intentional.
The intentional practice. The word intentional. Conscious. I'm conscious doing this. It's my intent to do this. Of self-restraint and mindfulness of purpose to commit ourselves wholly to the universal cause of the rise of humanity. Let's give our beloved Imam Sultan.
This is a prescription for the whole world.
So at this point,
for the whole world.
Yeah, so at this point, so Ramadan is for the whole world.
Student
The whole
Minister
world.
Eric.
right? So we want to go to NOI.org/Ramadan is what you asked about earlier, Sister Kalila.
Yes.
So visit NOI. I want more resources on Ramadan readiness, and then I want you all to sign up and subscribe to Sultan Muhammad on YouTube channel.
Yes. Yes.
To get more information on Ramadan readiness. So that's NOI.org/Ramadan, and go to YouTube and under Sultan Muhammad and subscribe to his YouTube channel. All right, next slide. Right.
Wow.
So and whenever so what I did was go back a couple of slides, Sister Kalila. Isn't that man beautiful?
Woo.
Go back one more. So what I did was, I remember I gave you this verse. I think y'all missed it, Brother Tony. Right? Let me show you my education. My as an educator. Watch this. I give y'all the verse. Right. Next slide. Right. Then I'm starting to break the. No. Go back. And literally the next slide.
Excited. I'm sorry.
Then I'm starting to break the verse down. That's the first part of the verse. Next slide. That's the second part of the verse. Fasting. So those who are present in the month shall fast therein. Now I'm telling you why you should fast therein. Next slide. Now, and whoever is sick or on a journey, he should fast a like number of other days. Now, the minister, I give y'all the dates. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan stated on the Ramadan prayer line, April 13, 2021, those who cannot fast a like number of days. Those who are sick or on a journey, fast a like number of days. May Allah give you the strength to fast each and every day and do not break rank.
That's right.
You know, he didn't say
break fast.
Break rank. Now that's a science in that. But again, I want to be clear. I want to be very clear. If you have an ailment and you can't fast, feed the poor.
Right.
Feed the hungry. And if you have an ailment and you can get over it in a week or 2 or 3 days or 2 days or 1 day, make that up. Because why you want to make it up? Because in Surah 2:185, Allah tells you why.
Woo.
The benefit of completing the number of days. Right? And those of us who are sick or on a journey, Allah says in the Holy Quran, fast a like number of days. This is the minister again. And those who cannot make the fast because of some health condition, when you are relieved of that condition, fast a like number of days.
Right.
See, the minister is emphasizing fasting and its importance.
Come on.
That's right. Fasting.
I apologize for yelling at you like the minister say. I apologize for raising your voice.
Only thing you can apologize for, dear brother. The only thing you can apologize for is for not having been with us sooner, but you're right on time for Ramadan.
Right on time. Right on time. So when you are relieved of that condition, fast a like number of days. He's laying emphasis on fasting and the power of fasting and why we should fast. And as it stated in the earlier slide, it relieves us of the impurities. But remember, quick test for those I can see. And if you're in the chat line, chat it out. What part of the brain is being worked out in the month of Ramadan?
The one that had the little thumb.
What is it called, man?
Come on, family. I'm trying to let y'all get that now. Y'all, come on. First letter H, team. Come on, catch up out there, y'all in the chat. Somebody put it out there. Begins with an H. Come on now.
Come on, Sister Maya. Come on, Sister Maya. Where you at, Sister Maya? Come on, Sister Don. Where you at? Sister Don, Sister Brenda.
H followed by a Y. What is
it? Come on, Sister Maya. Come on through.
Yeah, but that's the part that's being worked out. Yeah, and why he's laying emphasis, because the brain was created to think right. Right? So that's why it's important. The brain is able to think right.
Without going too deep, Student Minister Eric, you also mentioned there in that slide the pituitary gland. Is that particular gland also being worked on?
Yes. The whole brain is. The whole brain. The reason why I use just the hypothalamus is because the minister, where he lays into both of it in the study guide 18, where emotions come from, right? But what caught my eye was the fact that he said that the sex drive, right, hunger and thirst all emanate. Where the pituitary gland is where the sex drive, but right inside of the hypothalamus is those two stones, hunger and thirst. He said he used the word where it emanate from. Right? So study guide 18, where emotion comes from. Now you will see where I lifted that information from and why it's important and what we're experiencing when we fast or even going through the month of Ramadan. So I wanted to bring that part up about the brain again in the hypothalamus is because ministers really dealing with fasting and why we should make up those days. So he says, and those of us who cannot make the fast because of some health condition, when you are relieved of that condition, okay, fast a light number of days. What did Sister Dawn say? Somebody read that. Sister Dawn Muhammad.
She just fired up. She's walking and working and it went out.
Yeah, she said she missed that part.
Catch the replay, Sister Dawn. We'll let you catch the replay. All
right. Yes. So next slide, please. Look how beautiful the minister is.
He is beautiful, man.
All right, so this is kind of long, but again, we're continuing. Allah desires ease for you. He desires not hardship for you, and that you complete the number of days that you should exalt the greatness of Allah for having guided you, and that you may give thanks, right? So just in this slide, he's talking about, I quoted the price of redemption about the 21 days, right? I'm showing how our teachings connect to what we're discussing in terms of the month of Ramadan. It is the explanation, right? The modern day explanation, the teaching that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught and demonstrated by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. The month of Ramadan is blessed month for many reasons. So we must be sure to take advantage of all the blessings. Two of its blessings are closing of the ayat, being guided and being thankful. So let's use Ramadan to lift ourselves and to lift others. Allah is raising us up in the West, giving us guidance for the people of the West, but giving us light to shine back to the East, that we may become indeed the mighty Ummah. That's a quote from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Beautiful. So brothers and sisters, whether you're in the mosque or not in the mosque, look at these words from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. When you're practicing Ramadan and we're getting that guidance, Allah is raising us in the West. So regardless if you're a Muslim or a Christian or a Hebrew Israelite or no God, right? Allah is raising us in the West to be the beacon of light back in the West and back to the East, that we now are a mighty Ummah. That's us, black people.
Brother Minister, I got to get this vision alert for the people real quick. Got to get the people a vision alert real quick. I want you all to picture in your mind right now all of our so-called ghettos and all of our so-called violent and deplorable neighborhoods. I want you to picture them right now practicing Ramadan. I want you to visualize right now the peace and the guidance and the people being thankful and the brothers and sisters in the hood becoming one family. I want you to visualize that, dear family.
Yes.
And with that vision, we have a practice that can make it a reality.
And with that vision, the people would not perish. With that vision, the people would not perish, brother. So that's a beautiful vision, because we must show what the results are. What are the results of Ramadan? It's just what the vision you just gave, Brother Lau. That's the result. So as Muslims, we should be that example. So that all of our brothers and sisters will have an opportunity to come to the truth as taught and demonstrated by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Islam is a world, and we are Muslims that are citizens of that world.
Come on.
Next slide, please.
That's
Next
right.
slide. So now, when is suhoor? Suhoor is, now let's look at it from a physical, a mental, and a spiritual.
Okay.
Right? So now, suhoor is when you can eat or drink in the morning. Right? Now, Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that you can eat at what is called suhoor in the morning, but he said the best time to eat is in the is that one meal in the afternoon. That's the best time. But for those who may have an ailment that you have to eat in the morning because you may want to fast, but you got to take medication.
Yes, sir.
Wake up early enough and eat that meal so you can take that medication and you can go through the fast.
Yes, sir.
But consult your medical advisor on what you can do if you are desired to participate. But the word suhoor from a physical science is to rise or act at daybreak. From a physical science, it means to nourish. It means to drink or food before Fajr prayer. One of the aims of suhoor is to give us the physical strength for fasting. So just imagine you couldn't drink no water until the nighttime, not even in the morning. You couldn't get up and drink no water, no coffee. Oh, Lord. So that's a mercy. So that's what mercy looks like.
Yes, it is, my brother.
So if you want to tell me, brother, what does mercy look like? Mercy is Allah giving you permission to drink water before prayer.
Right.
That's what mercy look like. So we got to start painting a picture of what the attributes look like, right? So from an astronomical perspective, because the basis of the teachings of Master Fard Muhammad, he said, is astronomy. So the word suhoor means the edge of darkness. So it's the darkest time right before Fajr. It's the darkest time. So why are we eating or drinking in that darkest time? Why are we taking in nourishment in the darkest time of the morning?
So we can be the strongest. Teach, brother.
Wow.
You see? Now think about that. It's the latter part of the night. It's not yet Fajr. The call to prayer for Fajr has not yet come in yet. So let's just say at 5 a.m. is Fajr prayer. Suhoor is that time period, like around 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning. That's the darkest time before the dawn. It's suhoor. And Allah instructs us to get something in to drink. Very important. Because remember, this was revealed to the desert Arabs.
Right.
It wasn't 2022 now.
Right.
And there's a more recent philosopher that bore witness to the darkness of that. This philosopher went by the name of Houdini. And I think they said the freaks come out at night.
Oh, it come out at night. Man, you don't know about the great Houdini, man. That's right. So now, but the spiritual concept of the word suhoor also means deceitful person. So I want to read something in How to Eat to Live on page 56. I think it's this of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. It's book 2, page 56 in book 2. We're still dealing with suhoor. He said, then after dark, we can eat and drink until sunrise again the next day. So once the word iftar, go to the next slide and I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna introduce you to another word, iftar. So iftar is the night when the sun has went down and it's time to eat, right? That's called iftar. Now go back to suhoor. Now iftar, let's say iftar is at 7:30 when it's time to make prayer, maghrib. It's at 7:30. right? So we go from 7:30 all the way up, right? Then now, quoting Honorable Elijah Muhammad, then after dark, we can eat and drink until sunrise again the next day, which is dawn, Fajr, right? The significance of this Arabic fast in Ramadan is that spiritual darkness, spiritual concept. See, I wrote it down: physical science, astronomy, and spiritual science. So that word suhoor means all of those things.
Beautiful.
The word suhoor means all of these things. It also means deceitful person. So again, I was reading How to Eat to Live, and Honorable Elijah Muhammad tells us is that the spiritual darkness of Yaqub's made man the white race. Eating and drinking, sport and play was the order of the white race until the daybreak, the dawn of truth coming in the first of the 7,000 year of the 6,000 years of spiritual darkness.
Come on.
So that's why I say, remember, the lunar calendar goes from what? From dark to dark, from night to night, because we're living in a spiritual darkness. So we are to break our fast in nighttime, and we could eat or drink up until dawn. But the best thing to do is eat at iftar. But in the morning when you wake up, before the dawn, get your drink on.
Right.
So you won't be dehydrated. So it says,
well, we in Miami. You don't have to tell us that twice in Miami, brother. Just tell us that once.
And I know, and I'm in Houston, so we already know that the humidity is off the Chizane.
Right.
Right. So do not leave. So look what suhoor means, or the hadith of the prophet, the saying of the prophet. Suhoor is all of his blessings. So do not leave, even if you have to take a sip of water, because Allah sends His mercy on those who have suhoor. So if you don't drink water, or have you ever had a coffee headache and you drink a lot of coffee?
Yeah.
You try to go through not drinking coffee. You better get that coffee in the morning. That's a mercy. So what is mercy? The mercy is not having a headache and being dehydrated.
Brother,
I
talk about it.
No more realer than that. That's keeping it real.
I have a question.
So it's nothing spooky. Go right ahead.
Because what we're dealing with here is spiritual, the significance of spiritual darkness. But during the day while we're walking around, we have to deal with spiritual darkness all the time.
That's the fact.
I don't know if I'm jumping ahead of your presentation, but there is one thing where we have to prepare for the fast and not allow negativity to be around, especially as you put it earlier, listening to just the right type of music. Yes. Sometimes we have to encounter negative people, negative circumstances.
Yes.
And we have to we have to set up conditions where we're not experiencing that too much. But then at the same time, there is making the firm determination in our minds that none of that is going to affect us. I'm going to stay on my fast. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yes, I mean, you just did. I mean, that was excellent.
Amen.
Real talk. What are the benefits of fasting? I'm fasting. You're telling your state of being. Your state of being, your existence is fasting. So now when you go back to why the minister said to us to make up the fast.
Come on.
So now when you start looking at the fast from a physical, mental, and spiritual perspective, can't nobody upset you more than not being hungry.
Right.
Right. When you get into the state of hunger, you'll eat somebody.
Right.
If you to that extreme condition when planes fell out and they eating body parts.
That's right.
They couldn't find food. You understand?
Who's next?
So you just say, I'm what? I'm fasting.
Right.
Right? Because now you're in a state of being.
Yes, sir.
You are expressing where your mind is.
Right.
And so what you said after that is perfect. I don't have to add to that. That it is what it is. That's it. Next slide, please. So now going further into that. So the word iftar, it has meaning.
Come on.
Right? Iftar has meaning. So fasting person, which is dua at the time of iftar, is not rejected. So if you look on the screen, I intend to fast in the month of Ramadan. You're always stating your intentions.
Yes.
Then when it's time to eat, you say, oh Allah, I fasted for you, I believe in you, and I put my trust in you, and I break my fast with your sustenance.
Beautiful.
All
Beautiful.
praise is due to Allah. Literally, all praise is due to Allah. So breaking the fast, right, at Maghrib, we talked about that. Right, the word iftar comes from the word fatr, which is the 35th surah of the Holy Quran, the originator. And it means to create something from nothing. Because the word khalaq, it means to create, or khaliq, right? It means to create, but it means to create from something. But the word fatr comes from the word to create from nothing, but it also means your nature. So when you say iftar, at the time to eat, you're coming back to your nature. That's where the word iftar comes from, the word fatr. So it means to create out of nothing, split, crack, break, be broken into pieces. Then it means you're a natural disposition or constitution with which a child is created. So you're created in the very nature of God. So when it's time to eat again, when it's time to sit down and you scan your brain on your day, you're thinking about, man, I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't curse anybody out.
Right.
I'm my natural self. And what is your natural self? Your natural self is a righteous Muslim.
That's right.
So you're sitting down at iftar, your nature, taking in food. Once again, now you have a healthier respect for the food. And at a certain point, you can't eat as much because your stomach is shrinking.
Right. That's fact.
And sometimes people don't want to eat so late because it's so late. It's like, man, that's going to sit on me.
Right.
Right. So that's what the word iftar means. So at the end of Ramadan, we got what is called Eid al-Fitr. Eid meaning to return. Return what? To your nature. Fitr means your nature. So everything about Ramadan is coming back to your nature. So Allah gives us a month to focus on coming back to our original self. That's what the word iftar means, or fitr, or fatara. It means to return to our nature, return to ourselves. Next slide. I think this is it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, we got one more slide after this. So the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said, the path of Islam is the path of obedience to the will of Allah. Complete submission to his will is that what makes us Muslims. And then he gives us these two verses to help us out. Right? Surely the duty with their Lord is the Lord of gardens of bliss.
The dutiful. Yes, sir.
And if you keep to the right way, we would certainly give them to drink of abundant water. Right? So Ramadan Mubarak, he says. Right? And before we move, so you're going to say that greeting all through Ramadan. So what does the word Mubarak means? Barakah, it means blessing.
Right.
You put a muh on the front of anything, a muh is an active participle.
Right.
It means one who engages in something. So a Muslim, one who engages in the noun salam. Muhammad, one who engages in hamid, praise. Right? Mubarak, one who engages in blessing. Right? So Mubarak, it signifies the continuance forever of the blessings which a thing possesses. So Mubarak is one who is continually giving out blessings. So I'm saying to you, man, Ramadan Mubarak. Right? And then you can say Ramadan Kareem. That's fine. Because in spirit it's congruent.
Right.
But you can also say Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Mubarak. Right? Allah says give the greetings equal.
Right.
Better.
Right.
Right. So Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Mubarak. A better greeting is Ramadan Mubarak Kareem. I'm only explaining that because when somebody say to me, Ramadan Mubarak, Brother Tony.
Yes, sir.
Say
Ramadan
it,
Mubarak.
and I say Ramadan Mubarak. And then that person normally would say Ramadan Kareem. That lets me know that grammatically you're not understanding what I'm saying.
Right.
And we just shouldn't just say the greetings. And we don't really know what we're saying.
Right.
Right.
So if I say Ramadan Mubarak, you can say Ramadan Mubarak back. That's an equal greeting. It's okay to say it back and forth, the same greeting to one another. That's okay, right? Because we just don't want to be saying something. We want to get out of the habit of just saying something. What are we saying?
Thank you.
I'm saying to you, blessed month. Carry out the blessing month in Ramadan. In excessive heat. In a time of struggle, be a blessing to someone. That's what I'm saying to you.
Beautiful.
In the time of struggle, be a blessing to someone. So
Brother Student Minister. Oh, go ahead, finish that point.
It means it possesses the sense of firmness, continuity, steadiness, abundance of good, exaltation. I'm saying all of this to you in a time of difficulty, in a time of heat, in a time of struggle. Be firmness to someone. That's what Mubarak means, one who's being firm. But in that firmness, you're bringing about blessing. In your steadfastness, you're bringing about blessing. That's all I'm saying to you. Be firm of giving your blessing. So when a difficulty factor come up, don't stop
to a giant.
Someone just because it's difficult. Remain firm in that. That's what Mubarak means. In a simple term, for those who are listening, regardless of your faith expression, we're going to keep saying that. Sometimes when difficulty come among us financially, we want to stop giving. Mubarak means give, regardless of the difficulty. Ramadan is the difficulty, right? Meaning excessive heat. Right? Mubarak means I'm going to give in that excessive heat.
Be charitable regardless.
Be
You know, my brother,
regardless of the stated condition.
Brother Minister, I want to thank you. I want to say something about these two scriptures that you lifted in this particular slide. And I want our brothers and sisters out there who are struggling.
Right.
You might be struggling in business.
That's right.
You might be struggling in relationship. You might be struggling financially. You might be struggling in whatever way you know you're struggling. Look at the beautiful gift of Ramadan. When you see this scripture, surely the dutiful have with their Lord gardens of bliss. A lot of us give up too early.
That's right.
And a lot of us haven't been fortified before the blessing comes. And if they keep to the right way, we will certainly give them to drink of abundant water. And I wanted to say that to all of you who are given up on our children, all of you all who have given up on the possibility of our communities becoming a decent place to live, all of you who've given up on yourself and your purpose. What a beautiful time. 2 weeks from now, for you to repurpose that beautiful life that God has given you. Powerful piece here, Brother Minister.
Yes, and that takes it right back to Brother Tony's point on repetition. And what's happening to the brain in repetition. So again, repetition reinforces the circuits in the brain and forms a more neural connection so that in our weakest hour, we don't talk ourselves out of the greatness. So in that time of suhoor, the darkness, the deception, we don't talk ourselves out of it, of this 6,000 year period. So the point is, in this 6,000 year period of time that we're in, it is darkness. So suhoor represents a point in time in this 6,000 year period of time. It represents an hour of the day in the night, but it also represents the fullness of this dark time that we're in. Right? So repetition tells to us that we don't give up. If we keep on that right path, keep. The word keep is the operative word there. Keep on that right path.
Come on.
Right? So now, next slide, and this is my last slide. Right? Ramadan. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan tweeted, and I close with this, brothers and sisters. I'm not going to say anything after this. Ramadan. Ramadan, and we perform it as it should be performed, will bring us all closer to Allah and closer to each other.
Come on.
All praises.
What a classroom.
All praises due to
What a
Allah.
classroom.
Allah.
Beautiful classroom. Beautiful classroom.
Thank you.
That was Ramadan.
Beautiful.
That was Ramadan 101, 202, and 303. Alhamdulillah.
Listen. And you know what? And as you were going, I mean, I don't know how many Ramadans we've gone through by Allah's grace and mercy, but every year I sit down and I go through all the Ramadan videos. I want to know all the readings. I want to know where everything is, what I need to do to make sure I get started. I just make sure that I'm ready because I want to get the most out of Ramadan. And when you went through the whole presentation, it's like you pointed out those things that we might miss.
Yes.
Or, and that's the most important key. I was just like, okay, this year now,
Right.
I'm gonna make sure that I incorporate those things and then the meanings of certain things. And I like the fact when you were saying, well, we saying Ramadan Mubarak, and you said you could use the same greeting back. Most of us, it's automatic. We do it. We just say it. We don't even thinking. We didn't. It's just that's what we're coded to do. But thank you for the clarification, and I pray that the audience got what I got, what everybody got on this panel right now, because it was amazing.
And what they're gonna get when all of you brothers and sisters use these next 2 weeks to share this classroom space you were just in.
Yes.
Share this classroom space with as many people as you can.
Right.
I'm making my closing remarks right here now, Sister Michelle. These are my closing remarks.
Let me jump in real quick, Brother Lau. Let me jump in real quick. So so the month of Shaban, which is the month before Ramadan, the month that we're in now.
Yes, sir.
And the month of Rajab, which is the month prior to this month, Shaban. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that we plant the seed in Rajab.
Beautiful.
We water the seed in Shaban, right? And we harvest the seed in Ramadan. Right? So we're always preparing ourselves.
Yes,
so
sir.
when the month of Ramadan comes, we get all of the blessings.
Right.
Because we've already, so we can't start in Ramadan to want to be good.
Right.
Just start now. Because you only get out of Ramadan what you bring to Ramadan.
That's right.
Right.
All of those who are listening, let's be good people.
Yeah.
Be a good Muslim. Be a good Christian. Be all of that, whatever the moral value of what it is you say you believe in, be the best of it. And then let us walk into Ramadan together. So participate with us, whether it's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. But if you go 3 days, let's go the whole 30 days.
Right, you might as well.
Come on,
My
brother.
whole saying is you ain't doing nothing.
So again, I want to thank you all. I have me some new unknown tone and Sister now Sister Michelle, Brother Lau.
Very grateful having you on.
And let me follow you all on Facebook. I just went on.
Yes.
Facebook is 7th Region Coalition.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm following now. All right, but thank you all again. May Allah bless us. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, dear beloved. And again, we'll just say again, family, share this classroom with as many people as you can over the next 2 weeks and watch what happens. And I remember I was at a basketball game watching the Miami Heat. And at one point in the game, they started the wave. And so the wave went around and it went around. But this was unusual because it wouldn't stop. And the wave kept going and it kept going and it kept going and it kept going. So much so that the players on the court actually stopped.
Wow.
And a question came to my mind. What one person in this arena started that wave? We may never know, but it can continue on. And I'm asking you to wave this classroom to as many people as you can.
Absolutely.
Send it to them. We're usually behind on stuff. Y'all know that, right? We usually finding about Ramadan on the day of Ramadan.
Right.
Really?
In the middle.
Right.
Or in the middle.
Now, we have an opportunity. It's a beautiful, beautiful class. I'm done. That's my closing remark.
if I may, see, those of us who are in the Nation of Islam, we've heard the term, we write our history in advance. So here we are. We're writing our history in advance. We're preparing. And this is an absolute must, family. No, regardless to whatever stripe of life or methodology or ideology we may claim, we all, as righteous people, we must recalibrate, as Student Minister Eric put it, and go back to the righteous principles of our community. And so the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan emphasized in the Swan Song about the importance of being good students.
Right.
And we must be good students in this hour. We might try to fool ourselves like, oh man, I read this over here already like 10, 15, 10,000 times, Brother Lyle. Go back to it again, because when you go back to it again, just like in the month of Ramadan when we read the Holy Quran, you could be reading the Bible, whatever is of guidance to you right now, go back to it, because you're going to find something where you're going to say, I didn't notice that before, or it just didn't hit me like how it's hitting me right now. Go back. Let's all recalibrate together, and let's become a more spiritual and more well-developed community together.
Beautiful.
Praise be to Allah. I want to also, it's so funny that, Brother Minister Eric shared that, our respond, as it relates to the greetings of Ramadan. And it was so funny because me and a brother, he was like, I said, Ramadan Mubarak. He's like, Ramadan Mubarak. I said, I don't think you're supposed to say that. And he was like,
yeah, that's
yes,
the
you
way
do. Yes, you can if you want to. I say, no, you can't.
Right.
Look, I said, I'm gonna tell my mom, because I don't think you're supposed to say that. Because I'm gonna tell my mama that you got it wrong. Because you don't supposed to be saying that. You're supposed to say Ramadan Kareem. Because that's how. Because it's like Assalamu alaikum, then wa alaikum salam. See, you got to get it right, brother. You can't be just messing up. So I don't dissect them, swipe them, and everything. But it makes sense, and because we don't know,
right,
we create this ritual of just saying and not knowing.
That's true. That's very, very
saying true. Because it sounds good, saying because it's our nature to say, and sometimes not study. And that's why it's important to study. And this brother always is studying to show himself approved. So we have to learn how to study to show yourself approved, because when you study, it actually makes the brain grow.
That's right.
Sister Kalila, if I may.
Yes.
Now look, if we say we're in a class, right?
Right.
And we're students in the class, where's a student that doesn't study?
You ain't in the class, brother.
But if we're not in the class, we ain't studying.
You be doing that grade of that class over again. 18 years old in the second grade.
It doesn't matter. We got the minister said we have to be a student. We have to be a student. We should be a constant, perpetual state of learning. Always.
And that was a classroom on Ramadan. Now think about it, Muslims. How many of your Christian friends ask you, well, tell me about Ramadan? And your mind goes like, man, I got to tell you about, wow, it's going to take, look, just send them this. Look, problem solved, right? You want to learn about Ramadan? Here you go.
Right. That's perfect. And what beautiful. Go ahead. Go. No.
I was just going to say, if they're on YouTube, they can find this video on YouTube and they can share it out with them, because if they made it on Facebook, I just want to make you mention that. And also too, Sultan Muhammad has a channel on YouTube. Brother Eric said, go there and just subscribe, because it has kind of what to do on preparation on Ramadan, and he has all the videos there. So you can, after you're done sharing this out, go there, subscribe there, watch the videos and share that out. to your family as well. Want to say that?
And this is also a beautiful thing too. Take this video, in addition to what you're saying, Sister Michelle. Take this video and the day of Ramadan. Study this video. Have your pen and paper, because it's a lot of information that you're going to have to write down. Pause it, rewind it, go back, go forward. Whatever you don't know, write it down. Educate yourself. Okay? And then, look, our tree of the week, of course.
Oh, what is it now? What?
Ramadan. You got that's the tree of the month. That's the tree of the month.
We're starting early, Brother Lyle.
Well, again, proper preparation prevents poor performance. This is what Brother Minister Eric said. We have to prepare ourselves for what's to come.
That's
right.
That's right.
So, in preparation for the month of Ramadan, you need to start studying about what you do.
Come on.
And stop allowing things to be just a ritual. Oh, my mama did it, and my grandma did it, and my mama and my auntie did it. So I'm just gonna do it because I need to lose some weight. And come on now, let's talk real talk now. And you don't even touch the Holy Quran.
Oh God.
You just want to lose some weight.
And it ain't gonna work. Tell us.
That ain't Ramadan, that's Yoradon.
Right. But because we don't know the significance of the practice, we're doing it all wrong and expecting blessings at the end.
Right.
Come on. That's right.
And be like, man, look, man, this don't work well because you ain't put the batteries in it, brother. You ain't put the batteries in it. That's why.
And this working with no batteries, Sister Kalita. No,
right. I'm just saying, you ain't working because you ain't put the batteries in it. And the batteries is knowledge.
Come on.
Wisdom and understanding.
You use those dollar store batteries.
Right.
I just had a visual. All right, listen, we can run this party all night.
We're over 2 hours.
No, we can't.
We gotta land it. But listen, family, thank you so much. This is a wonderful show. Again, we want to thank student minister Eric Muhammad out of Houston. Muhammad Maz 45 out of Houston, Texas. So check him out. Good brother, good people, good company. And Brother Lau, I'm gonna hand it over to you because you can go ahead.
Well, you know we're going with this now. Y'all know how we go. We're not a gang, we're not a clique, we're not a crew. We do practice Ramadan, but we are. Everybody's going to church.
Come on, Sister Kalila. There you go. There you go.
I got. Oh, okay.